Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you very much for joining. I'd like to seek your good wishes and your blessings so that we can complete our studies of the sixth canto of the Srimad Bhagavad Puran. This chapters, hopefully 18 and 19, we'll try to cover. I want to seek the blessings of Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj so that we can understand as much as possible from the overview that we're conducting, so that we can please their Lordship Shishi Radha Krishna and Krishna Balaram. So, yeah, let's make a start. Okay, let's try this. Wow, nice long. Chakradistavadi Purusham Purusho Yati Samyatam Samvatsaranam Kinchit Unam Dityaya Charitita Saju Indrena Panchasad Devaste Maruto Bhavan Vyapoya Matra Dosham Tiharina Sumapahakita.
If one worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the original person, even once, he receives the benefit of being promoted to the spiritual world and possessing the same bodily features as Vishnu. Diti worshipped Lord Vishnu for almost 1 year, adhering to a great vow. Because of such strength in spiritual life, the 49 Maruts were born. How then is it wonderful that the Maruts, although born from the womb of Diti, became equal to the demigods by the mercy of the Supreme Lord.
Okay, so we'll see this a little bit later on. And in fact, the next these two chapters look at a particular vow. So the next chapter, chapter 19, looks at it in a little bit more detail. But in here, in this chapter, Kashyap Muni explains to Diti how to follow this vow, which then will give whatever one desires. And it's interesting how from Diti's womb, generally the demons took birth, and even these 49 Maruts were actually demons, but they became demigods by the mercy of the Supreme Lord due to the performance of this vow. Okay. So chapter 18, Diti vows to kill King Indra. So why does she vow to kill King Indra? Does anybody remember this pastime? It goes back sometime. We did it in the third canto.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Because her two sons were killed, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha.
Yes.
They were killed, so he wanted to take revenge from Indra. And also, while I was reading, I saw that Indra, Diti is an aunt of Indra.
Yeah, correct.
Oh, how come?
There's a relationship there.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a relationship.
Aditi.
She's the aunt of Indra. Yeah. Born from Aditi, yeah, that's right. Because Aditi is the sister of Diti. And Aditi is the source of Indra.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Good. So then first, this chapter describes Aditi's dynasty, not Diti, Aditi. So it gets a little confusing. From Aditi, the demigods came, and even Krishna comes in the form of, anybody remember? What form does Krishna take when he comes from Aditi? Yeah, Vamandev. Great. So you've had a good breakfast, Mataji. No, only joking. Aditi gave birth to 12.
Sorry, I haven't had breakfast yet.
Oh, that's probably why.
No, because I don't have breakfast, I have brunch. That's why.
Oh, okay. Yeah, makes sense. So the anybody who comes from Aditi's womb, they're called Adityas. And anybody who comes from Diti's womb, they're called Daityas. So Adityas, they're the demigods, the good guys, if you like. The descendants of the first four, we've already looked at in chapter 6 of this canto, from verses 28 to 45. And now the remaining 8 are mentioned. Oh, okay. Let me just go further down. Okay, there you go. So these are the 4 that were described in chapter 6 of this canto. Vivaswan, Aryama, Pusha, Twasta. And Twasta we've come across before, a very, very powerful devata. He was the father of Vishwarup and also Vrittasura. So then the remaining 8 of the Adityas are described here. And these are their sons and daughters. I'm not going to go into any of them in particular, just maybe browse through. We have Lord Vamandev here. He's the most famous son of Aditi. And we'll look at Vamandev in I think Canto 8 with the pastime of Bali Maharaj, which Naniben summarized so nicely at the weekend. Pastime of Bali Maharaj. But I don't know if there are any questions. I wasn't planning to go through these because there's so many names and it gets a little too confusing. I suppose he's a very interesting personality. Brigu, son of Brahma, took birth again in her womb. Agastya, we've come across Agastya last chapter with Narad Muni. But she's really blessed, Aditi, to have such an incredible dynasty, her and Kashyap. Yes, and Naniben?
Prabhuji, it says, well, I was reading as well, that Valmiki took birth from an ant hill.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So from what I remember, is the semen fell on that ant hill. That's how he was born.
Yeah.
Oh.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Who was that from? Do you remember?
Hare Krishna.
Oh, there you go.
Valmiki, sorry, can I talk?
Yes,
yeah.
go on.
There you go.
Valmiki, he was a dacoit, right?
Yeah.
So when Naraj Muni met him, Naraj Muni asked him to go and ask if anybody is going to share his sins. So then when he said no, so Naraj Muni said, sit here and chant Rama Rama. He could not chant Ram, he chant Mara, 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 finally. But while he was sitting there, his body was eaten by the ants. That's how it became anthill. Then when Narad Muni went again after so long time, then Narad Muni sprinkled some Ganga water on him. Then he came out as Valmiki.
Okay.
Right. This says he took birth from an anthill. So is that the pastime?
That is where he was with his body as Ratnagar, Daku Ratnagar. He was sitting there. So I think he left the body and then the ant eat all his meat or whatever. And then he came out of the anthill. That's why his name is Valmiki. Valmiki means anthill. Yes.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, very good. Very good.
Thank you.
Nice one. Okay. So that's the dynasty of Aditi. So that's the first 9 verses. Canto 3, chapter 17 describes the birth of Aditi's 2 demoniac sons, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha. In this demoniac family, however, the great devotee Prahlad Maharaj appeared, and Bali Maharaj also appeared. The demons are technically known as Daityas because they come from the womb of Diti. Then we'll see in a minute the 49 Marut demigods also are born from the womb of Diti. None of them had sons. Although they were born of Diti, so they were Daityas, Indra gave them a position as demigods. And this was a shock to Parikshit Maharaj. Why? How come demons were made demigods? He asks from Sukadev Goswami, who gives them the reason. Oh, no, he asks, did they perform some pious or ritualistic activity to deserve this? Sukadeva Goswami replied. So then he goes into the pastime. Diti was angry with Lord Vishnu, who killed her twin sons just to favor Indra. So now she was angry with Vishnu, but her husband, Kashyap, was worshipping Vishnu. So she could not remain angry with Vishnu because her own husband was worshipping Vishnu, Kashyap. So she was thinking, so because of Indra that my sons were killed, because the Lord appeared to protect Indra. So then she had a plan, she had a desire to actually kill Indra. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. Anyway, so before we go into that, this is the dynasty of Diti and Kashyap. So you got Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksh, and then you've got Prahlad coming from Hiranyakashipu and Kayadu. And from Prahlad, he had Virochan. That's right. And from Virochan came Bali. So these pastimes we'll see in the 7th canto and 8th canto. And Bali also had Banasura, and we'll see him in the Krishna book. Oh, might haven't seen before. They also had one daughter, Kashyap, Hiranyakashipu, who was and their grandson was Rahu, who is very famous. Yes, Riyanj.
Praji Manasur captured Aniruddha
Did,
and
yeah.
tried to kill him.
Well done. Good boy. Excellent. So then this continues now into the 49 maruts. So let's have a look at this pastime. With service, love, humility, self-control, and sweet words, Diti did everything she could to satisfy her husband Kashyap. Kashyap, although learned, was captivated by Diti's artificial behavior and assured her that he would fulfill her desires. So it was artificial. Why? Because she wanted something from Kashyap. He didn't know, but she had a desire to kill Indra. So this is Diti and Kashyap. You see the deer skin. Kashyap was great sage, actually. Great sage. Diti then asked for an immortal son because he said to her, whatever you want, you tell me. She asked for a son who can kill Indra. Upon hearing this, Kashyap condemned himself for being too attached to material enjoyment and faced the danger of the impious act of killing Indra. That's a pretty heavy act. And his son would be involved in that. So he was devastated. How could Diti ask for such a horrible, horrible boon? Women are self-interested by nature, and therefore they should be protected by all means so that their natural inclination to be self-interested will not be manifest. Of course, in Kali Yuga, everybody is self-interested. It's not just women. In fact, the men are even more self-interested, as we know, as we see. When either a man or a woman is advanced in spiritual consciousness, the bodily conception of life practically vanishes. We should see all women as spiritual units, aham brahmasi, whose only duty is to satisfy Krishna. As he gave his word to Diti, he thought that this cannot be violated. But at the same time, Indra does not deserve to be killed. So he thought of a solution. Yes, Naniman?
Yes, it says that we should see all women as spiritual units. Isn't it something for men as well? Everybody as Aham Brahmas, isn't it? Yeah.
But because he's specifically bugged by Diti, this
Okay.
Part of the chapter just focuses on women. So that's why.
Okay.
And it's actually instructions to men that, you see all, because men have this, the lusty desires within them. And it's instruction to men that, look, if you look at a woman, you see her as a servant of Krishna, meant to satisfy Krishna, not yourself, not the men.
Yes.
So
Yes. Makes sense.
yeah. Thank you for asking. So he thought of a solution, because he didn't want to he didn't want to be guilty of having having the son who would actually be responsible to kill Indra, which is actually not possible anyway, because the Lord has promised to protect Indra. But at the same time, he didn't want to break his promise to his wife. He gave his word. Kashyap advised Diti to follow a vow for 1 year, where she will get a son who can kill Indra. Indraha, that was the word he used. But if she deviates from this vow of following the Vaishnava principle, she will get a son who will be favorable to Indra. So this was a nice solution. And this is the vow. She said, do not harm anyone, curse anyone, speak lies, cut your nails or hair, touch impure things like skulls and bones, enter the water while bathing, become angry, enter the water while bathing, become angry, speak or associate with sinful people, wear unwashed clothes. So this also is relevant for the next chapter. So I thought, let me put everything in, because then we'll see what this vow actually entails. Wear unwashed clothes. Put on a garland that has already been worn. So you don't beautify yourself, is the point. Eat food which is left over, offered to the goddess Kali, contaminated by flesh. Do not. Yeah. These are the do nots. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you. Brought by a Shudra or seen by a woman in a menstrual period. Don't drink any water by joining your palms. Don't go out on the street without washing your hair, mouth, hands, feet in the evening, or with your hair loose. Don't go out without being properly decorated unless you are very grave or sufficiently covered. Don't lie down without having washed both your feet, or without being purified, with wet feet, or with your head pointing west or north, or naked, or with other women, or during the sunrise or sunset. So these are the don'ts. Right? So don't enter the water while bathing. Yeah. Don't become angry. So then do worship the cows, the brahmanas, Lakshmi Devi, and the Lord. Before breakfast, while wearing washed clothes, being always pure, and being adorned with turmeric, sandalwood pulp, and other auspicious items. Worship women who have sons and whose husbands are living, with flower garlands, sandalwood, ornaments, other paraphernalia. Worship the husband, offer him prayers, meditate upon him, thinking that he is situated in her womb. That's unusual. Anyway, so these are the do's and the don'ts for 1 year. Diti agreed and began to undergo the vow and became pregnant. Indra, understanding her auntie's intentions, began serving Diti to fulfill his own interest. His purpose was to cheat Diti as soon as he could find some fault in the way she discharged the vows of the ritualistic ceremony. However, he wanted to be undetected, and therefore he served her very carefully. However, Indra found no fault and became anxious. Once, however, being tired, Diti forgot to wash her hands, mouth, and feet after eating, and went to sleep during twilight. So that wasn't allowed, right? Sunrise, sunset. Due to his mystic power, Indra entered her womb and cut her embryo into 7 pieces. However, they became 7 babies who started crying. Then he cut them into 7 more pieces, each of them. So that's why 49, 7 times 7. But they did not die. They told Indra, we are the Maruts, your brothers. Why are you trying to kill us? When Indra saw they were his followers, he accepted them and told them that they had nothing to fear because Diti worshipped Vishnu. Her sons were saved from death and became demigods. So this vow involves the worship of Lakshmi Narayan. And because of the worship of Lakshmi Narayan by Diti, these Maruts, who were demons, were saved and actually promoted to become demigods. Very interesting. Because of worshipping Vishnu, Diti became purified and she woke. When she woke, she was happy to see her sons and in friendship with Indra. She was a bit surprised, but she was happy. When asked what happened, Indra, feeling ashamed, truthfully told Diti what he had done and he begged for forgiveness. Diti was satisfied with Indra's behavior. Because she had worshipped Vishnu, she developed this forgiveness, compassionate nature. And with her permission, Indra took the Maruts with him to heaven. Okay, so that's the end of chapter 18. Any questions, any comments? Nanibek? Oh, we can't hear you.
About me? Oh,
No, breaking up.
We can't hear you.
I think it. Can you hear me now?
Little bit. Carry on. Say a few things.
No, it just will be
Still breaking up.
No, you're breaking up. Maybe come out, go out, and come back in again.
about yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Rianj.
Raji, can I share something?
Yes, sure. I think you've also got internet problem, huh?
No, Prabhuji.
Go on then.
Showing. Show
Oh, you
picture.
want to show something?
You need to put your video on, Riyansh.
I think it says share. Maybe speaking rather than...
Yes, Prabhuji, sharing.
Okay.
Speaking or showing?
Showing.
So show your video.
Prabhuji, not showing. Sharing.
Rianj, your video is not on. Rianj,
So
your
do you want to
video is
speak?
not on.
No, I think he wants to share something from his computer.
Okay, you can do it later.
Okay,
So
Prabhuji.
Oh, Nani Ben?
Oh, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, that's better.
Much better.
Oh, okay. Now, it was only about the Maruts. Which anything will come later on in this Srimad Bhagavatam about them?
No.
No. Okay.
This is it. This is it, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll read up on it on somewhere. Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure there'll be something about them somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There's not in the Bhagavatam, there isn't much else. Okay. So, chapter 19.
Shriyam Vishnu Chavarada Ashisham Prabhava Ubhao Bhaktya Sampujayan Nityam Yadi Chet Sarva Sampada. If one desires all opulences, his duty is to daily worship Lord Vishnu with his wife Lakshmi. With great devotion, one should worship him according to the above mentioned process. Lord Vishnu and the goddess of fortune are an immensely powerful combination. They are the bestowers of all benedictions and the sources of all good fortune. Therefore, the duty of everyone is to worship Lakshmi Narayan.
So this is this vow now. Performing the Pumsavana ritualistic ceremony. Parikshit Maharaj asked about the details of how to perform the Pumsavana vow, which Sukadev Goswami explains. So, on the first day of the bright fortnight of Agrahayana, that's November, December, so that is just after Kartik.
This is after Kartik Purnima.
Yeah, just after Kartik Purnima. With the husband's permission, before the worship, the wife can hear the glories, the story of Maruts. She must wake up early, bathe, wear clean clothes, worship Lakshmi Narayan. She must offer obeisances and pray to them. The Lord is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, full of all opulences, mercy, transcendental qualities. One must also glorify Lakshmi, then worship them with ornaments, flower scents, incense, lamps, chanting the following mantra every day. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahapurushaya Mahanu Bhavaya Mahavibhuti Pataye Samaha Vibhuti Bhira Balimuha Upaharami. Which means, my dear Lord Vishnu, full in 6 opulences, you are the best of all enjoyers and the most powerful. O husband of Mother Lakshmi, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, who are accompanied by many associates, such as Viksena. I offer all the paraphernalia for worshipping you. After worshipping the Lord with all the paraphernalia mentioned above, so that is all these things here, the ornaments, the flower scents, incense, lamps. One should chant the following mantra while offering 12 oblations of ghee on the sacred fire. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahapurushaya Mahavibhuti Pataye Swaha. Lakshmi Narayan bestow all benedictions upon their worshippers. So everyone should daily worship them. That was the verse that we did. Lakshmi should be worshipped as the internal energy of the Lord, whereas the Lord is the supreme enjoyer. Thereafter, with devotion and humility, one should offer prayers to the Lord and Mother Lakshmi. Further worship is performed after removing the old articles, so the garments. So what is done is you do the first worship, and then you offer these oblations of ghee, and then you take everything off, and again do the same worship again with the oblations of the ghee. And then again, you remove the flowers, you smell the remnants of those flowers, and you worship again. So it's done 3 times every day. Concluding the Pumsavana ceremony, the wife should worship the husband by offering him prasad. So this is at the end of the 12th month. One should daily offer prasad to the Brahmins and to women who are living peacefully with their husbands and children, continuing to follow the rules to worship Lord Vishnu. After 1 year, the wife should fast on the full day moon in the month of Kartik. So that will be the full year. Then cook sweet rice, which the husband should offer as oblations with ghee to the sacrificial fire 12 times. After satisfying the Brahmanas and one's guru, one can take prasad. So then Sukadeva Goswami explains there's many benefits of this performing this ceremony. If this vow or ritualistic ceremony is observed according to the descriptions of Shastra, even in this life, a man will be able to achieve all the benedictions he desires from the Lord. A wife who performs this ritualistic ceremony will surely receive good fortune, opulence, sons, long-living husband, good reputation, and good home. If an unmarried girl observes this vrata, she will be able to get a very good husband. If a woman who is avira, who has no husband or son, executes this ritualistic ceremony, she can be promoted to the spiritual world. A woman whose children have died after birth can get a child with long duration of life and also become very fortunate in possessing wealth. If a woman is unfortunate, she will become fortunate. If ugly, she will become beautiful. By observing this vrat, a diseased man can gain relief from his disease and have an able body with which to work. If one recites this narration while offering oblations to the pitas and the demigods, especially during the Shraddha ceremony, the demigods and inhabitants of Pitalok will be extremely pleased with him and bestow upon him the fulfillment of all desires. After one performs this ritualistic ceremony, Lord Vishnu and his wife, Mother Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, are very pleased with him. So this is the end of Canto 6. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6 Ki Jai. So, are there any questions or any comments?
Prabhuji,
Yes, Naniman.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it must be my internet, which can
Yes.
become available. Yes. Okay. Now, worshipping Vishnu and Lakshmi ji asked for some benefits. It's something that we sort of don't do, isn't it?
Yes. That's right. That's
But
correct.
this is for people who desire something, then they have got this option to do it.
Exactly. Exactly. So what basically it is, this is the principle that if we have no desires, that's fantastic. Worship Krishna. If we have desires, still worship Krishna, still worship Lakshmi and Narayan. It doesn't say just Lakshmi. Normally people would just worship Lakshmi to get money. But it says Lakshmi, Narayan, worship them together. And at least you're worshiping the right personalities for the boons that you want, because they will give you in such a way that your underlying desire will be fulfilled and destroyed at the same time. Is the beauty of Krishna. So even if we want something material, don't be shy to ask it from Krishna, because he will give it in such a way that it will destroy your desire to have it anyway. But you will feel that you've been fulfilled at the same time. This is the beauty of Krishna. So in a way, it's giving facility to those who have material desires, but in a way, in such a way that they will stop having material desires going forward. But you're absolutely right. This is something that we try to avoid. We don't want to ask the Lord for anything. He's given us enough. We want to give him back something ourselves.
Can we ask for his help, as Draupadi did when she found that nobody was capable of saving her when she was in the courtyard of Dhritarashtra. She appealed to Krishna and he immediately arrived. And I read somewhere that unless he called me, I wouldn't know what is the problem. I mean, he knows everything, but he said, if you call me, then I'm there.
Yes, that's absolutely right. When we are in a distressed situation and we can't do anything about it, we don't normally want to bug Krishna. But when there's no way out, there's no solution, then we should call him and he'll come. Prabhupada, you want to say? So when Prabhupada was once asked, what do you pray for? Or what do you think when you're chanting? And what did he say?
I think, what is the meaning of the Hare Krishna mantra? So Prabhupada said, it means we're asking for help.
Mm.
So basically chanting the Mahamantra is also asking to help us to establish that relationship with him.
Mm. That's all he said, wasn't it?
That's all he said.
Did say anything else? Interesting.
Like other way to look at it is Krishna knows everything. We are sincere, we are chanting, we are doing everything we can, but he makes path easy for us in a way that's going to benefit us. So in a way, it's no use, no good asking because he will help us. But in a way that is going to make us even better.
Brilliant, Naniven.
Yeah, but
That's what it
also
is.
like, when you have the child, the mother might know that, the child needs this or that, because she knows the child and she can
Yes.
provide for that child. But it's nice when the child asks that, that relationship is nurtured more, I think. Similarly, if we ask Krishna, please help me, he knows we need the help and he will, of course, help us. But, he'll be more pleased that we're actually turning to him.
But
Yes.
having said all that, just to confuse the issue completely, one time there was a
Krishna,
Brahmin. There was a Brahmin in at the time of Krishna and Arjun, and he was in a forest. And Arjun said to Krishna said to Arjun, "I'm really thirsty. Go and find some water." So Arjun went. He came across this Brahmin, and this Brahmin, this sage, he was sharpening his weapons. So Arjun was a little surprised. He said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm sharpening my weapons." "Why?" "I'm going to kill Arjun and Draupadi." And Arjun was shocked. So why? He was so shocked, he actually fainted. He couldn't believe it. Eventually, Krishna came, and Krishna saw Arjun. He revived him. And Arjun said, Krishna said to Arjun, "What happened?" And Arjun whispered into his ear that, this Brahmin wants to kill us. So Krishna said to the Brahmin, "Why are you sharpening your sword?" "To kill Arjun and to kill Draupadi." "Why? They're my devotees." "No, but why did they bug you?" "Arjun, he chose you as a chariot driver. How dare he do that?" And so he chose you and you became his chariot driver. How dare he allow you to become his chariot driver? Were you kicking him? And what about Draupadi then? Krishna said, you are so busy, you got so many things to do, and she was bugging you when her clothes were being taken off her. So what? We come into this world naked, we go naked. What's the big deal? So his mood was a little bit like you were saying, that we just serve him. He knows, he knows what we want. He knows what we need. Just serve him. Don't ask for anything. Don't ask for anything. If he wants to give something, great. And he knows we're here because we're serving him. We're praying to him. But we're praying what for? I want to do something for you. Let me serve you, not the other way around. So that mood is actually super excellent. In this way, Krishna taught Arjun that this is the highest level of devotion. But of course, if we need something and we're desperate, there's no other alternative, don't go anywhere else. Krishna's the only place we go to. But I like what you said, Naniman. Really good. He's in our heart. He knows exactly what we want, what we need. Don't ask for anything.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Well done. So, Rianch, you want to share?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Go for it. Okay.
Prabhuji, it is telling you cannot start screen share while the other was
Oh, okay. Yeah. Go for it. Yeah. Now you can do.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Good. Ah, nice. Yes, good.
Prabhuji, you told from Prahlad Maharaj.
Collage. Yeah. Good boy. I like it.
From here to here.
Yeah. Ooh, very intelligent boy. I like your graphic
Wow.
skills.
Very nice. Riyansh?
Thank you,
Priyansh,
Mataji.
what's the name of Prahlad Maharaj's wife?
Not sure about that, Mataji.
That's a good question. Yeah. You can put the name in later. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Very good, though. Very good.
Clever boy. How did you do all this? Very nice.
Good boy.
These young children, they are so good in technologies. We just
know.
watch how nicely they are doing. Very nice, Riyansh.
Thank you, Riyansh. Excellent. Do more. Do more. Nice.
Prabhuji.
So let's go to the lessons. Okay.
Prabhuji, one question.
Yeah, yes, Kaushalya Maaji.
This the one Riaz showed that the Prahlad is there, and there's two more down there. Is it Bali, his son?
Yeah. It's
Prahlad Maharaj's son.
Virochan. Bali is his grandson.
Prahlad's.
Virochan is his son.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
We will see that in the next canto.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no, sorry, eighth canto.
Eighth canto.
Yeah.
Okay,
Next
Prabhuji.
canto, we will see Nishingadev and Prahlad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So is it that Indra cut the head of Virochan?
No, Prithasura. Virochan is another, the demigods also.
I know it's a son of
Prahlad.
Prahlad Maharaj, yeah?
Yeah. Different person, different character.
Okay.
Yeah. And we'll see that in the coming cantos.
Yes, Babuji, thank you. So, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Lesson from Canto 6, Chapter 1. To avoid the hellish planets where there are terrible sufferings, we must atone for the sins committed with mind, word, and body before we leave this present body. Chapter 2. The holy name is so powerful that even if one chant imperfectly, one can get liberation due to the causeless mercy of the Lord. Chapter 3. To avoid encounter with the Yamadutas, we must render devotional service upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Chapter 4, sitting in everyone's heart as Paramatma, the Lord is constantly directing us, but being so conditioned, we are unable to see or understand the Supreme Soul. Chapter 5, the one who is too involved in this material world and who does not look within the core of his heart gets more entangled in the illusory energy. Chapter 6, women are not meant for the renounced order of life, but if they have competent husband, they can be liberated as they share the pious credit of the husband. Chapter 7, by the strength of the Guru, one can become very powerful within this world, but if the Guru is displeased, one can lose everything. Chapter 8, if one resides in Narayan Kavach, one can be protected from different kinds of problems, but for Vaishnavas, the Mahamantra is most powerful. Chapter 9, mantras should be chanted correctly, otherwise there could be reverse consequences. Chapter 10, if we can give something in charity to a beggar, we should not hesitate because we don't know the situation of the beggar. Chapter 11, we should follow the footsteps of great devotees who are always ready to give up their lives, which is simply a cause of bondage to this world and which is destined for destruction. Chapter 12, the real qualification of a liberated soul is that he remains undisturbed by the action and reaction of the material nature. Chapter 13, if one knowingly commits sinful activities and chant the holy name and try to counteract the sinful reaction, one commits the biggest sin. Chapter 14, a sage should be considered a great guest and should be welcome at one's residence with humility and should be offered proper hospitality. Chapter 15, when one understands one's spiritual identity and surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one becomes actually happy and doesn't lament for bodily relationships. Chapter 16, only fortunate souls get the opportunity to associate with the devotees of the Lord who can reform their lives, thus helping them to go back to Godhead. And chapter 17, as conditioned souls, we are completely under the control of material nature and we are subjected to the result of our past karma. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Maji. So, is Madhusudan Prabhu there?
No, he asked me to read it.
Okay, yes, go for it. I was going to say the same.
Okay.
Good.
You might hear the mardanga playing in the background. My grandson is playing upstairs.
Oh,
Okay. So,
no worries, no worries.
Hare Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. The key instructions for Canto 6. With respect to Diti and Kashyap Muni, Srila Prabhupada instructs, sometimes our Krishna consciousness movement is criticized for mingling men and women, but Krishna consciousness is meant for anyone. We therefore request all the members of the Krishna consciousness movement, both men and women, not to be attracted by bodily features, but only to be attracted by Krishna. Then everything will be all right. Otherwise, there'll be a danger. Kashyap Muni's way of instructing Diti negatively are worth taken a note of, especially with the hope that she would become a Vaishnavi. Example, his instruction that she not be envious indicates that this is the first stage of advancement in Krishna consciousness. Kashyap Muni desired to train his wife to be a Krishna conscious person, for this would be suffice to protect both her and Indra. Diti's period of bhakti surpassed even Lord Indra's mystic powers, and he was unable to kill the 49 Maruts in her womb. Chapter 19, in this chapter we are being instructed how to appreciate the Supreme Lord as his devotees. Even for example, to keep Lakshmi or the riches of the Lord without the service of the Lord is always dangerous. For that, Lakshmi becomes the illusory energy. With Lord Vishnu, however, Lakshmi is the spiritual energy. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Very good.
I think that's the end, yeah? Okay, Haribo.
Yes. Thank you so much. So, today, Karuna's not with us, so we can do, in the Lekha you can do Nashinga Kavach.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
But it's not fair. When she's not there, then I do. When she's there, I don't get the chance.
Yeah, but that's her service. That's her service, you know. So,
Mataji, you're lucky you know how to do it.
Yes, you can learn too. It's not difficult.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to learn.
Yeah, I think we should try. Even if we cannot go to the end, then somebody else can chip in and carry you out. You just try.
okay, I'll just come back.
Wait. How's it not doing it?
Okay.
Share, go on, share.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, there you are.
Thank you. So, Shri Srimad Bhagavan ki jai, Bhakta Pradhan Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Guru Maharaj ki jai. Narasimha kavacham vaksye prahaladeno ditam pura sarvaraksha-karam punyam sarvopadravanasanam sarvasampatkaram chaiva swarga moksha pradayakam yatma narasimha devi samhema simhasani sthitam viritashyam trinayanam saradindu samaprabham Lakshmiyalingita Vamangam Vibhutibhirupashitam Chaturbhujam Komalangam Swarnakundala Sobitam Shriyatu Sobito Raskam Ratnakeyura Mudritam Tapta Kanchana Sankasham Pita Nirmala Vasasam Indradishu Ramolista Spuran Manikya Diptibihi Pirajita Padadandvam Shanka Chakradi Hetibi Garutumata cha vinaya tistuyamana mudanvitam Swahirit kamala samvasam kritva tu kavacham pate Narasimho me shiropatu lokharakshartha sambhavaha Sarvagopi stambhavasaha phalam me rakshatu dhyanim Narasimho me disopatu soma surya agni lochanaha Smetam me patu narhari munivarya stuti priyaha Nasham me simhana sastu mukham lakshmi mukha priyaha Sarva vidyadi bhapatu narasimha rasanam mama Bhaktram padva indu vadanam sada prahalada vanditaha Narasimha patu me kantham skando bhubrid anantakrid Divyasta sobhito bhujaha Narasimha patu me bhaju Karo me deva varado Narasimha patu sarvataha Hidayam yogi sadyascha nivasam patu me hari Madhyam patu hiranyaksha vaksha kukshi vidaranaha Nabhim me patu narhari swanabhi brahma samstitaha Brahmandan kutiya katyam yasya so patu me katim Guyam me patu guyanam mantranam guyarupadrit Urumano bhava patu januni nararupadrit Jange patu dharabhara harta yosho nrikeshari Surarajo Prado Pado me Narhari Swara Sahasra Shrisha Purusha Pato me Sarvasastanam Manograha Purvato Pato Mahavira Grajagnitaha Mahavishnu Dakshinetu Mahajwalastu Nairitaha Paschime Pato Sarvesu Dishi me Sarvato Mukhaha Narasimha Pato Vayavyam Somyam Bhushanam Vigraha Ishanyam patyo bhadro me sarvamangaladayaka samsarabhayato patyo mrityur nekeshari idam narasimha kavacham prahlad mukhamanditam bhaktimanye patenetyam sarve pape pramukshate putravan dhanavan lokhe dirghayurupajayate yam yam kamayate kamam tam prapnota sansayam Sarvatra jayamapnoti, sarvatra vijayi bhavet, bhumyantarikshe divyanam grahanam vinivaranam, prishchikoraga sambhuta vishaparanam param, brahma rakshasa yakshanam duratsarana karanam, Jevatale patreva kavacham likitam shubham, karamulyam dhritam yena siddhyeyu karma siddhyayaha. Devasura manisyesu swam swam evam jayam labhet ekasandhyam trisandhyam va yapate niyato naraha sarvamangala mangalyam bhuktim muktim cha vindati dvatim sati sahasrani pate sudhatmanam griyanam kavachasya mantrasya mantrasiddhi prajayate anena mantrarajena kritva bhasmabhir mantranam Tilakam vinyase yastu tasya graha bhayam hare Trivaram japamanastu dattam varya bhimantrasya Prasayadyo naro mantram narasimha dhyanamacharat Tasya roga pranashyanti ye chakshu kukshi sambhavaha Kimatra bahunaktena narasimha sadrishu bhavet Manasa chintitam yatu satyakshapnoti asansayam Garjantam garjayantam nijabuja patalam spotayantam hatantam Dipayantam tapayantam divibhuvitisijam shripayantam shripantam Krandantam roshayantam disi satatam Samharantam bharantam vikshantam purnayantam Karanikarasate divya simham namami Divya simham namami Iti Sri Brahmanya Purane Praladuktam Sri Narasimha Kavacham Sampurnam. Sri Narasimha Kavachi ki jai.
Thank you.